I vlog this. This is the only angle I can get. Car sesh, and yeah, my forehead's kind of cut off, but it exists, I promise. Yeah, I don't know. Vlog, yeah, come to the gym with me, kind of, sort of thing. But I feel like I had a crazy experience yesterday. But the topic of today is feeling gratitude for like all the things you have, gratitude for your life situation, gratitude for, you know, the blessings in your life, but also still not feeling motivated. I feel like that's like a hard concept to, something that I was faced with yesterday and today, especially more than yesterday. But yeah, feeling gratitude, but that gratitude still not motivating you. Because I feel like this could be a shared experience. Like, I feel like I'm definitely not the only motherfucker going through that. I had left the gym yesterday and I had encountered or just saw this old lady, this old black woman walking across the street, and she could barely walk. I mean, barely. Like, her legs, you could tell she's been walking a lot, were just so swollen. And you could just tell that, like, she just couldn't get across the street. Like, she could barely get halfway across the street without the time running out on her time to walk. And so something just told me to go talk to her. You know, like, something told me to just talk to her, just say something to her, or ask her how her day is, just something, you know, just communicate with her. And then I was going to, but she started walking across the street and I got nervous, so I sat back in my car and I just could not leave her. Like, I just could not talk to her. Like, it was gonna like upset me the rest of the day. So I drive across the street. She sat down at a restaurant, like outside seating, little fast food place, and I sat down with her and I asked her how her day was. And she said, oh, her day's going good, you know, it could be better. And I was like, yeah, like, tell me about yourself, you know? And we just started talking. And she just was an amazing woman to have encountered. She was 70 years old, she said, and had been homeless for 2 years. And I was like holding back tears talking to her the whole entire time, you know, like, it was just absolutely insane. And yeah, and she had majored in psychology at the same university that I'm majoring in psychology. She had graduated and got her bachelor's, which was crazy. And she had mentioned, she was like, oh, you must be like an earth sign, you know? And I'm like, I am an earth sign, that's crazy, you know? And so we just bonded on a lot, right? Like, we're just talking. It seemed like she just wanted to talk to someone, you know, or just have someone listen to her. And she seemed so tired. Like, she talked so much about how tired she was, but I felt like it was such a canon experience, also being a black woman, because I could feel how tired she was, you know, like, I could feel that. I felt that energy. I could just feel how tired she was. And it was upsetting to have to witness that, and it was upsetting having to talk to somebody and just see them go through that and just know that, like, I can't take all of it away, you know? Like, I can't take all the pain away. And so that really sucked, right? But it was good to talk to her. And she talked about how she suffered 3 heart attacks the past year, and she's a veteran. And it was Veterans Day too yesterday, I didn't even notice, but she was a veteran, and talked about her time and all her friends and all her husbands she had from the Vietnam War, and it was absolutely insane. Try to get out the way for my boy here. But yeah, so just absolutely crazy, you know? Just absolutely insane. But yeah, it was crazy to talk to her and like that be my experience with her, but it just felt like we bonded a lot, you know? And her name was Miss Morris. Didn't get her first name, but it's Miss Morris to me, absolutely. Knowing that she's older, so and she was just such a kind old lady. And I remember asking her, like, do you need a ride? Like, the reason I stopped you today is because I see that you're having trouble walking. Like, I know you said that you're homeless, you have nowhere to go, but I asked her if she needed a ride, you know? And it's crazy because I'm like, I don't have my own car. Like, I'm in my sister's car now, but I was using my mom's car yesterday. But I just, like, I wanted to help her in some capacity, in some way, you know, or try to at least. And she said, oh no, that's okay, oh no, like, just refusing help, you know. And I thought at first, like, oh, maybe she doesn't think she deserves it, or she's scared, but it's like, no, it's just, I guess she doesn't want it from me, or I don't know, but it hurt me that she didn't want to accept that from me. So I kept asking, and I was like, is there anything I can get you? Are you hungry, you know? We were at a little fast food place, and I was like, do you want something to eat or drink? And she was like, I could really use something to drink. And I was like, okay. And I went in there, and I bought her a little fountain drink. It was $2, like, I gave that to her, and she was so ecstatic that she was able to get something cold to drink, you know? And living in Arizona, like, it's hot. And she talked about how cold it is at night, though, now in November, and it's too hot in the morning to walk, but too cold to move at night, and her blankets don't really keep her warm. And she talked about all her struggles of other homeless people stealing from her, and she's really vulnerable because she's older and disabled, so she can't really fend for herself. And I just remember feeling like it was such a spiritual experience talking to her, because I feel like people don't talk to people enough these days. It was such like a spiritual experience, you know, because yes, you can be inspired by people on the internet all day, right? But it has been so long since I've talked to somebody of such, like, I don't know, of such experience, of such deep, like, I don't know, like such deep life, I guess. I can't really explain it the way I want to, but you could just, like, she was just another person, you know? And you think about all the things that you've been through all day, you know? And I think it was nice to talk to somebody who's been through so much more and so much more hardship, and nice and also heartbreaking, you know? But still, like, spiritually, it made me feel so much gratitude for everything that I have right now, you know? And because I've been struggling, I just got back from vacation in Seattle, little 3-day cute little trip, and she was from Washington as well, so that was insane. And yeah, there were so many like little things that like we just related on, and it was just cool. It was just cool to talk to her. And I was heartbroken yesterday because it just sucked, you know? And she was talking about how she walks up and down Oracle, which is like a super big street in Tucson, all day to see if she can get money for cash or anything like that. And she said she hasn't made any luck, and she's only made $3 today, and she's hoping she can get enough money to sleep somewhere tonight, because she can't sleep. She's up all night making sure nobody steals her stuff, and she sleeps upright in the little walker chair that she had. She hasn't ever found a place to lay down, or the security or police will, you know, move her from a bus stop or wherever she's trying to sleep at. And I just think it's heartbreaking. And when I was a kid, like, I remembered, like, I helped homeless people at a local church that I used to go to with my dad, and we like fed homeless people and gave them a place to stay for a couple of nights. And it just kind of brought me back to that experience as a kid. I guess I didn't understand like the I don't know, the value of that experience at the time. It was kind of like, volunteer work, you know, but now I just saw the importance of that, you know. And it hurt me so deeply to know that this old lady, like this like elderly woman, is outside sleeping on the street, and she suffered 3 heart attacks, and it's sad, you know. It's really sad. I don't know, it just sucks. I really don't have any other way to put it. Like, it just, and it's wrong, you know. Like, nobody that old or young, really, it doesn't really matter how old you are, nobody deserves to not have a home. Nobody deserves to not have any money or any way of getting water or food to eat. Nobody deserves not being able to take care of their health. Nobody deserves to have fought for their country and their food stamps get taken away and government assistance get taken away because we're quote unquote giving too much money or too much leeway to the poor, too much leeway for lazy people that don't want to. Like, it's fucked up, all of it, you know. It's fucked up. And she had told me, like, I had asked her like how much it was for her to stay in a hotel for tonight, and she said, oh, probably like $60. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, I hope you make that. And, you know, I told her I was gonna head out, and I went straight to the bank and I got $60 out of my account. And do I have $60 to give that lady? No, I didn't. I didn't have, I mean, I had it obviously, but I had no place to be giving her $60. But something in my heart and my soul, the same thing that just told me to go talk to her. And I see homeless people all the time living in Tucson. Like, homeless people aren't crazy bad, but I see them all the time, you know. But this one just felt different. It just felt different. And I went straight to the bank, got $60. I came back to the fast food place and I gave it to her. And I told her to just get some rest tonight, and I hope you make it there safe. She still wouldn't accept the ride, unfortunately, but I told her to just lay down for tonight, and I hope that you actually get to get some shut-eye, put your stuff in a safe place, and you don't have to worry about it just for tonight. And she cried and gave me the biggest hug, and we both talked about how people don't do that anymore, you know, like the empathy and compassion in people, it just feels like it's so phased out these days, you know. And I feel that, you know, I feel that strongly, but I'm glad I gave that to her, you know. I'm glad, like, I felt so much better after giving that to her. Like, I couldn't sleep at night knowing that she didn't have a place to sleep, and it was hard for me to wake up this morning. And as soon as I laid down in my bed last night, I felt so guilty, you know. I felt so guilty for ever feeling like I didn't feel like showering, or I didn't feel like brushing my teeth, washing my face. I didn't feel like eating or grocery shopping or washing my sheets, or didn't feel like getting out of bed in the morning to do what I gotta do. And I just felt so much guilt laying down, and because I felt a presence of, like, you get this every night, you know what I mean? You have a roof over your head, you have AC when it's hot, and you have hot air when it's cold, you know? And you get to have that. That is a privilege, you know? And a blessing in its own. And after everything she had told me she had went through, she sat and told me that God is still blessing her every day, though, and God is still protecting her every day. And I think it's kind of crazy because I feel like I haven't seen myself so much as a Christian, or like you know, like your typical believer in like a specific religion, but that experience and the spiritual feeling, I feel like it's something that I've been missing a lot of. Especially coming back from my trip, I haven't been on my diet, I haven't been going to the gym, things like that. I haven't been working towards any of my goals or wants in life necessarily as hard as I'd want to, or as efficient as I'd want to. And I feel like I was missing that oomph. Like, I've been going to the gym now after I got back from my trip and things. I've been going to the gym, felt great. Weight's coming back off, which is awesome, and I feel healthier. Diet's dialed in, but I just haven't been motivated, right? But obviously motivation is bullshit. I know, like, we all know that. You can't just feel motivated into doing everything, or like just wait until you're motivated to do something. So I've been very proud of myself for not waiting on motivation to do stuff, and I've gotten a lot better at that as a habit with anything in my life. But I just felt so guilty for not working, you know, because here's this old lady that is disabled and 70 years old. Where is she gonna work at, you know? And government assistance, and our government nowadays has no sympathy for her. It's just criminal, you know? It's just absolutely criminal. And I just felt so much guilt, like survivor's guilt in a way, kind of thing, that I would even feel that way of not feeling like doing A, B, or C. Because there's some people that would wish to be in a young body like mine, you know what I mean? To be in a position like mine, where I have a supportive family that helps me even when I'm in financial need. To have the brain capacity like mine, to where I'm learning is something that's still easier for me to do. To have the health, to have a place to sleep at night. So that just felt like a lot. I had a lot of feelings about that yesterday. Just a lot of feelings about that. And today, even waking up was hard, just knowing that she wasn't going to be in that hotel anymore, you know, knowing that she was going to have to go back outside on the street, you know. And I wish I could have given her more. I think that was such a burning feeling, is that, like, afterwards I felt happy of what I could do, and I know that I did more than a lot of people would these days. But it's not really about that to me. I'm mad that I couldn't give more to her, you know. I think as people, that was another big kind of lesson in my head, was that, like, that's like the best thing we could ever do, is give to other people. It doesn't matter that you have the Lambo. It doesn't matter that, you know, you have the super fancy high-rise apartment. You know, that's all cool, and that's everyone should be proud of themselves for reaching, like, their own personal goals, financial goals, physical health goals, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, being able to give somebody something, you know, was more rewarding than anything that I've accomplished by myself, you know, emotionally, mentally. And it was hard, because it was super heartbreaking. Like I said, it was so fucking heartbreaking. But spiritually, it was probably the best I've ever felt, like best in a minute, you know. And so today it was hard for me to get out of bed, and I was doom scrolling all morning, and, you know, and I was just like, again, like, how dare I, you know. I'm subject to feel the way that I feel about things, and I should, you know, feel them, but how dare I not go to the gym right now and study for class and fucking read a book, you know, and try at things. So I don't know, but thank you, Miss Morris, for that experience, and I hope that you are doing all right, you know. But again, I don't see myself as a religious person, but for her to sit there and tell me about all her struggles and everything she's been through and still feel blessed, then how can I not feel that way? I haven't gone through 1/10 of what you've been through. I haven't even lived half your lifetime, and I don't feel blessed, you know. It's just interesting. It's all a mindset, you know. But I'm at the gym now, so we're hitting chest, shoulders, triceps, classic push day vibes. So yeah. don't know if I'll record in there. Probably not. I didn't bring my tripod with me, so mayhaps it not. Maybe just pump video at the end. I don't know. See ya. All right, done with gym. I'm actually running late because I have class today. What time is it right now? 4:30, so in an hour, but so I'm not gonna be too late to class, but I still gotta eat. But anyways, gym was good. Good push sesh today. Yeah. Back on the topic of feeling grateful yet still not motivated. I kind of thought more about what I would like to say in this video. But yeah, on that topic of seeing somebody going, or like just hearing the stories of somebody going through that and kind of sharing their trauma and feeling it deeply, that made me feel absolutely grateful for everything that I have, but not motivated. Because even in the gym was good, but I still didn't really like necessarily feel like being there. And I love the work that I put in today. I put in a really good effort today, but it still felt like I was lacking the motivation because I just felt sad, you know, like I just felt sad from the inspiration that I was given, you know, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing, but it still sucks, you know. And I'm proud of myself for going to the gym today. That's another dub, despite everything that I'm feeling. So we just have to take those dubs as we can, even though it might not feel like a win necessarily. So, but yeah, gym was great overall though. But yeah, I know that a lot of people feel this way. I feel like it's like a unique feeling, you know, like a unique concept, I guess, to emotion, where it's like you feel so grateful and you've been inspired by someone who has faced so many unbelievable struggles, like unbelievable to you, but you still don't feel motivated, you know. It just makes you feel so sad. It makes you actually not want to do shit. I woke up this morning not wanting to do anything, so I was like, what's the use, you know? And Miss Morris had told me about how she graduated high school early because of her good grades and got into college at 16. And I was like, that's amazing, and got her bachelor's and everything like that. It's just scary that like your life can still flip in an instant despite you doing like all the like quote unquote right things, you know? And yeah. I mean, obviously I didn't ask because I feel like that's kind of rude. It doesn't really matter, but I don't know what happened or how she got into that situation, you know? But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. I don't think it ever really matters how people fuck up their life, you know? Because that's in the past. Like, you fucked it up, okay, you know? Or somebody fucked you over, or whatever it was, whatever the case may be. But I still don't think that anybody deserves to feel that way and to feel so tired and to not have a home or a place to call home, you know, or having to walk, you know, tens of miles with blood clots in your legs at 70 years old. Like, it just sucks. So I felt very grateful for my body today, in the gym. You know, I can't imagine. I have knee problems. I can't imagine, like, and again, I complain about that shit all the time, and how my knees hurt, and yada yada this, yada yada that, but it's like, damn, like, you know, my problem in comparison, you know, to hers is nothing. But I also try not to compare problems. Like, comparison is not a great mindset to get into either, whether it's good or bad. It's not good to compare. It's like, I'm feeling nothing compared to this person. Like, you still are allowed to feel, and I'm working on that too. Just actually feeling how I feel. Like yesterday, I was crying all of yesterday because I just needed to feel the way I felt about shit. You know, I just needed to feel sad for her. I needed to feel guilty, and I needed to kind of grieve in a way. Grieve her, and I just felt like just her energy, like her energy was just, I feel like it was just flowing through me, you know, and I cried for her too, and so it's just a lot of emotions going on, you know, a lot of different things happening, but yeah, we're gonna keep on pushing on. We've got class today, and not really too much else, but that just was in my mind from yesterday, and can't stop thinking about it today. And I think about my future. I think about trying not to fuck it up, and thinking about how I could end up in a crazy, horrible situation like hers, you know? It's just all scary. But also thinking about how grateful and how my gratitude needs to be shown through action in more of a spiritual sense, you know? And being grateful for absolutely everything that I have, and be grateful that I can work towards more, and I have the opportunity to work towards more, you know. Yeah, so thank you for coming to my TED Talk. It's kind of a cute little yap sesh, but hopefully some of it made sense, at least. But I'm gonna go home, grub, and yeah, peace out.